The world is never going to be the same again.
I'm worried about the world.
The world is never going to be the same again.
I'm worried about the world.
The mass chaos and crises that there was in the world, it's going to be just like that now.
This is not an accident.
How long is it going to last? Longer than even for those of you that have some cash in the bank, way past your cash reserves.
Out of 100 people, 4 will get the message.
This thing isn't going to be over in a few weeks. This thing isn't going to be over in a few months.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bearable Bull here. And I got this aggressively average content for you today. And guys, what I'm going to say to all of you is, how have you been enjoying the past couple weeks? We have plenty of relief coming to the crypto space right now as a lot of excitement has returned. Cryptos have shot up in value, dozens of %. We can use Zilliqa as an example of a crypto that has actually exploded about 250% in just a couple weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a token that I discussed in my Udemy course at half a cent. And while I no longer hold any Zilliqa and I actually sold a little early, it's an example of what happens when you hold on to a high quality coin for a long time. Many other tokens that we in this community own will be experiencing Zilliqa-like runs. And in my OnlyFans down in the description below, I'm revealing the next token I believe will have a Zilliqa-like run. I'll also be posting some indicators that I personally use to chart and prepare for bullish momentum. Please subscribe and take a look at that, as almost every token that I have in my trading positions have gone up 20 to 30% recently. Now guys, I do have to say something though. As far as the psychological temperament and the emotions of crypto investors, it is the only thing that frustrates me about certain people. There are a lot of people that 2 months ago were revolting against me, talking a lot of shit in the comment sections, as well as other social media platforms. And while I personally don't give a shit, what I know is that is a telling indicator for someone who's not gonna make it. Ladies and gentlemen, when the prices were low, that is when I was trying to ensure that the crypto space was going to go into a bullish turn. And then when I got the indication that I knew the crypto bull run was going to continue, I let you guys know immediately. I remember here February 24th, I told you guys all to buy the invasion. The reason is because after every single invasion of a country, we go and have a bullish run for a long time. However, I personally believe this current run is going to be similar to the Afghanistan war. The reason is because we will have a cataclysmic financial collapse. That is my personal guess on what's going to happen next. But you see, the issue is that I turned bullish at the peak moment everyone had maximum fear. I turned bullish the moment nobody wanted to buy. And that's the difference between people that are going to make it and make life-changing wealth in this space and people who are just going to settle and get wrecked every single time. Ladies and gentlemen, I've often stated the reason I love the crypto space so much is because crypto offers the opportunity for the average retail investor to become a venture capitalist for the first time in history without being limited by the SEC's restrictions, without having to be an accredited investor. That is profound. You, with a couple $100, even less than that actually, can go and become a venture capitalist by investing in some of your favorite cryptos or some low-key hidden gems. But people cannot manage the volatile price swings. They feel extremely emotional when things go down 70% in value, as opposed to accumulating more. You see, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to play you a brief clip from former Ripple exec Zoe Cruz, who was also formerly at Morgan Stanley, and I think she said it best. Please take a listen.
So I would look at these currencies as a VC investment, a surrogate for a VC venture capital investment, without the fees and without the intermediaries. And as you know from VC investments, you're very, very good if you have 2 moonshots and 8 of them go to nothing.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, that right there is the perspective you need to have as a crypto investor. 80% of your cryptos can fail and you'll still make life-changing money. This is the perspective VCs have that make them wealthy. This is how you can find the future Ubers, Facebooks, Twitters of crypto, by having a high level of risk tolerance. But see, the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, with education in the crypto space, you can improve that. And personally speaking, 9.5% of the cryptos I put my money into usually end up being moonshots. That's the level I'm trying to get everyone to. And that's the level that'll change your lives, my friends. All it takes is more discipline and more patience than you previously had. Because trust me, this space will get you richer than you ever thought you could. And ladies and gentlemen, we're about to have a powerful opportunity to do that. And before I continue, I actually want to disclose to you a number of failures that I've had in crypto, because that's how irrelevant it is. Every one of us has probably a couple tokens that have gone down a lot in value. Well, this is an example of a token that I've lost 99.9% of my money in. A-Chain. I got it at around 60 cents. Look at that price. IoT Chain, acquired at $4, down to 2 cents. Trinity Network Credit, acquired at 15 cents, down to less than 1/100th of a penny. DTA, gone down the drain. Substratum, absolutely imploded. Verge actually still has some life in it, but I'm down tremendously on. Neblio, done. Dentacoin, done. Credits, gone. And then we have BitDegree. This is a crypto that it's so bad it doesn't even have market data anymore. I've never seen anything that bad before in my life. But guys, these are all examples of money I'm completely lost. But just one crypto in Cardano absolutely changed my life for the better. This is the perspective you need to have to be successful in crypto. Massive risk tolerance, but an understanding that the reward you'll get by being right is absolutely insane. Now guys, let me take you to this tweet by Zero Hedge, because while we have a lot of risk tolerance, while we're confident in our investments, this specific moment in history is oh so important for a number of reasons. Here, I want to inform all of you that the 2 to 10 year curve has inverted for the first time since 2019. And in addition, the 2 to 30 year curve has inverted for the first time since 2007. What this is going to mean is that we're going to be in for a massive crash. Anywhere between 12 to 18 months. That is typically the time frame it takes for us to see that monstrosity of a recession. And this one's going to be the crash of all crashes. What this means is that this will be the opportunity for us to make generational wealth. In the meantime, stocks are going to keep rising in the immediate short term, as interest rates continue to rise as well. This will give a little more runway for the upside of the markets, followed by an immediate downturn. We're going to take aggressive profits in the crypto space on the way up. And then we're going to hold cash, hold stablecoins, hold Pax Gold for the run down. This is going to be the wealth preservation period in time. and then reinvesting at those low entry points are what are going to change all of our lives, my friends. I'm a big believer that time in the market trumps trying to time the market 99% of the time. But in the weeks and months to come, there's going to be a window where timing is going to be everything, and we'll execute to perfection. That window is going to make us, the savages that have been watching this channel every single day and in this community every single day, better than the 99.9% of people on the planet and most others in crypto. Don't get it twisted, guys. This will be the once in a lifetime opportunity we've all been preparing for. A global financial paradigm shift. A transfer of wealth from the impatient to the patient. A transfer of wealth from the uneducated to the educated. It's going to be a fireworks display for us. And we deserve every single penny we're going to make. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to pivot your attention to the second part of this video. The part that is going to reveal what the future of the financial system is going to look like. There is a proposed bill that would require stablecoins to be backed by dollars. This right here is something that we all need to understand. Tether is the biggest scam in the crypto space that will be a reason why crypto crashes, on top of regulations, on top of the SEC's jurisdictional overreach, on top of everything else going on top of the financial crisis and an inevitable cyber attack. But I'm going to play you a 1-2 series of clips that's going to expose what the future of the financial system is going to look like, specifically here in the US. Senator Loomis from Wyoming used to be my favorite senator on the crypto space, but now I'm asking questions. While I don't necessarily like everything she had to say, this, I think, is the biggest reveal of what the future of this financial system is going to look like. And you all need to watch what she's about to say. Please take a listen.
Going to be a greater role under this framework for the CFTC in regulating spot markets? And if so, what, if anything, does that mean for the SEC?
Yeah, the answer is definitely yes. When you look at Bitcoin and Ethereum in particular, it's pretty clear to me that those are commodities. And the spot market will end up at CFTC and futures markets, which is why it's so fabulous to work on this with Senator Gillibrand, because she's on the Ag Committee that has jurisdiction over the CFTC. But the previous speaker you heard said there are something like 17,000 cryptos, and certainly not all of those are commodities. So we'll still be using the old Howey test from the 1940s to help define what is a security and what is a commodity. And the SEC will also have a huge role in this space. Additionally, when you look at stablecoins, payment stablecoins, and a possible CFDC, the central bank digital currency, those are going to be addressed in this bill also to a smaller measure. So, for example, if we had a central bank digital currency, it would likely not be like the digital yuan, which is more a direct to the retail customer type of asset. Ours would function more like the current Fed, where our central bank digital currency would allow for faster and cheaper transfers of money among central banks, both internationally and within the United States, and the Bank for International Settlement and so forth. And then it would be the banks that would be the issuers of stable coins. And they would be pegged to the dollar as opposed to the digital yuan, which is a direct-to-retail product. So these are some of the things that we're kicking around in this bill.
One of the fears that you hear a lot right now is this idea, is Bitcoin in particular, but perhaps Bitcoin, all of the coins that have been traded these days, is this the credit default swap of this decade? Meaning the way the housing market and the derivative trading mechanism of taking these loans, putting them all in a package and doing it, which is not what Bitcoin is, but I can see why people want to compare it. If there is suddenly a collapse, that it could actually drag us into recession because of how big this industry is and how volatile it is. Do you accept that fear?
Well, yet another reason why Senator Gillibrand and I want to create this regulatory framework, because by giving the SEC additional regulatory authority and additional disclosure authority, requiring when these assets are bundled in ways that make them look like securities, subject to the Howey test, subject to the SEC's jurisdiction, there will be sufficient information available to assure against the kind of risks that we normally don't deal with until there's a crisis.
Do you think the digital space is so big that it could create a credit default swap-like impact on our economy if suddenly a whole bunch of holders of Bitcoin decided, maybe this is air?
Yeah.
Senator Warren says it's air. Maybe it is. I'm out.
And as soon as enough people start saying, I'm out, I mean, look, this has worked. The whole digital world has worked very much like a bubble works. And that is, it keeps going up based on what? Based on additional production? No, based on the fact that it has demonstrated that it solved all these other problems and it is now being used exponentially in areas where it hadn't been used before. Not really.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to make myself very clear. I do not agree with anything Elizabeth Warren has stated. And I don't agree with Senator Loomis's stance that she thinks that SEC should have more power in this space. However, it's going to happen. The SEC, in my opinion, will lose this case against Ripple and XRP. But there are plenty of unregistered securities in the crypto space. And something I'm going to tell all of you is, there is a crypto specifically that I've invested in because I know that unregistered securities are going to be a thing of the past in the crypto space. I'm a big believer in polymath, as it will be a security token exchange. And security tokens are going to be something that are going to be easily accessible to the public moving forward. They're going to be a specific niche within crypto that will exist and will thrive, and that will come with regulation after this bull run takes place in the immediate future. After this speculative run is over, the SEC will get its jurisdiction with STOs. I believe polymath will be the future Binance of the crypto space. And guys, I've had an entry in it for a while now. I'm not just shilling it to you because I want it to go up. It's going to succeed whether or not I tell you about it. But I'm just warning you ahead of time of what polymath is going to do. Regardless, guys, the reason I'm commenting on everything is because Senator Loomis gives you the roadmap and the blueprint for how it's going to work. A bigger role for the SEC than what it has now. A new structure for the U.S. crypto financial system. The CFTC and CBDC will be discussed in this bill. CBDCs will run like the Fed. Among central banks and banks would be the issuers of stablecoins. I also need to remind all of you of this SEC risk alert posted February 26, 2021, which Jeremy Hogan has gone over in this community. This essentially means the SEC could do whatever the hell they want as far as regulating this space is concerned, and then they could go back to this and say, we gave you plenty of warning. So I'm warning you, be prepared for more of the SEC's wrath. Well, I believe there will be a weakening of the SEC's jurisdiction after this Ripple case. That does not mean this monster in the SEC is done. Not even close. they'll be around and they're going to have a major say. They'll probably be part of the reason for why the crypto space crashes along with the rest of the space after the specific bull run is done. And that's okay. With crashes come opportunity. And with opportunity comes us savages ready to pounce. Ladies and gentlemen, Elizabeth Warren, while I don't agree about anything that she has to say regarding the crypto space, I'm going to reference Chris Larson's recent actions. Changing the code of Bitcoin was not something that Chris Larson just randomly tweeted. I think it's going to be a massive agenda. The climate change agenda is so massive and is what is going to take place that I think Chris Larson was warning the crypto space and Bitcoin maxis. Whether or not they want to listen is not of any interest to me. But what I'm going to tell all of you is, I believe there will be a moment where the climate change agenda comes after Bitcoin. Whether just or unjust, they'll be forced to change the code. And we can point back to this moment when Chris Larson warned in advance for what's to come. Bitcoin's going to crash. All of crypto's going to crash. But not a second before this altcoin season is completed. I'm warning all of you because we're going to make our aggressive profits, but do not dare think everything is going to keep going up forever. Dare to take profits and make money. Store those stablecoin profits in the form of USDC on your ledgers. Ride the wave down, and then pull the trigger on immaculate entry points once we've crashed. I'm bullish on crypto in the long term. I'm bullish on crypto in the short term. But in between that, that's what we need to prepare for. And that's why I'm here to warn all of you. Chris Larson and Senator Loomis have given us a massive warning. You can either choose to hear it or choose to ignore it. But the final thing I'll say for today is that I choose to make money. And in days, weeks, and months to come, I'll do my best to guide all of you to make as much money as we possibly can. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bearable Bull here. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I appreciate every single one of you. Now I'll be back tomorrow with another video.
I get 24 hours a day just like Bill Gates. I get 24 hours a day just like Beyonce and Jay-Z. You get 24 hours a day, ladies and gentlemen. What do you do with your 24 hours? You need to get more information. In our coaching program, all we do is drop content nonstop. And people are like, wow, I didn't know that. Wow, I didn't know that. See, you don't even know what you don't know. How did you let me come from behind and clip you? Do you guys know the studies show the better we look, the more money we make? Which means your website should pass the eyeball test. Your truck should pass the eyeball test. Your people should pass the eyeball test. You should pass the eyeball test. Everybody in this room has a promised land somewhere, but you can't be stuck on the city you like. You got to hear God and go to your promised land. Your promised land might be Utah. Your promised land might be Minnesota. Your promised land might be Wyoming. Hear me clearly. You better use your money to get information and access, and you better be flexible because a real shark is flexible. Can we stop fronting and get real about this thing? And if I can do it, you can do it. I knew nothing about life. I knew nothing about business, but I had the right mindset, and I learned it through sports. And y'all got to hear my story so you understand. I didn't even start on my college basketball team. I came off the bench. At the University of Minnesota, I came off the bench. But in my mind, you can bring me off the bench, but I'm an NBA ball player when you get through talking. When you get through, I'm an NBA ball player. And that's why I would walk around and say, you can't check me. You can't check me. You can't check me. If I was you, I would walk around every day and say, I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. I declare it right now. I'm worth millions. I'm worth millions. I will receive my salary right now, but I won't accept it as my value. So whatever you receive right now, receive it, but don't you accept it as your value. Because there's more out here for you if you change your mindset.